Numbers chapter 20. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month, and the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron. And the people chode with Moses and spake, saying, Would God that we had died when our brethren died before the Lord! And why have ye brought up the congregation of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have ye made us come up out of Egypt to bring us into this evil place? It is no place of seed, or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink. And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod, and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. And Moses took the rod before the Lord, as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, Because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Moab. Thus saith thy brother Israel, Thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt, and behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields, or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand, nor to the left, until we have passed thy borders. And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. And the children of Israel said unto him, We will go by the highway. And if I or my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, Thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border, wherefore Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor, by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. This chapter is one that causes people a lot of wondering. It seems such a small thing that Moses did, that he shouldn't be allowed to go into the promised land seems somehow unfair. But when you understand all of it, it actually seems like the Lord was doing Moses a favor. Again, the people are murmuring, there's no water. How many times has Heavenly Father looked after these people, done things for them, and they just cannot stop murmuring? So, again, rebellion. And Moses I think, was upset, maybe angry with the rebellion. I know in times when there have been quarreling among my children when they were younger, I just had not really as much patience with that as I really wanted to have. I just wanted them to get along. And somebody was not feeling right. Somebody was put out. Somebody was feeling somebody had done something wrong. And actually getting them to deal with the issue was a challenge. But once they dealt with it, it seemed to be something so minor that it just wasn't worth all the heartache. And if the people had simply said to Moses, Moses, we need water. Right? But they didn't. It was just murmuring, complaining constantly. And so Moses goes before the Lord, and the Lord gives him an instruction, a very specific instruction. And he says, "Speak ye unto the rock before their eyes." Speak ye before the rock. Speak ye unto the rock before their eyes. So this was to gather all the people of Israel together and talk to them. And talk to the rock in their presence. But Moses, probably in a moment of frustration, said something to the rebels. You rebels, must we provide water for you from this rock? Now, I assume Aaron was there, and so the thought would be that he was speaking on behalf of him and Aaron. And then he struck the rock twice, and the water flowed free. Now, I make a point here. If Heavenly Father had not been willing for them to have the water, no matter how many times Moses hit that rock, nothing would have happened. So Heavenly Father wanted to bless them to have the water. But he also wanted the blessing of the water to happen in a certain way so that people would understand it was miraculous, not the result of some physical thing. Moses was supposed to speak to the rock. Now, after that, God talks to Moses and lets him know that neither he nor Aaron are going to go into the promised land now. But he says something really peculiar part of the way through. For your sakes. In Deuteronomy, he says, and that's a book we're going to get to very shortly. And for your sakes. And I think what happened was that Heavenly Father had compassion on Moses and realized and saw that no matter what Heavenly Father did, these people were not a lost cause, but were awfully close. And so told Moses that Aaron was going to die, take Moses up Mount Hor, give his son Eleazar the priestly office, the clothes to operate as, the authority to operate as the high priest, as the priest operating in the tabernacle. But later on, as the people are going to enter into the promised land, Moses dies. He doesn't get to enter the promised land. But something even better happens. He's translated, which means he goes to Heavenly Father without having tasted death. That is hardly some gift that Heavenly Father gives to somebody who has horribly sinned. That is an absolutely wonderful reward for a very faithful servant. I think he just needed to get him out of there. And that's how he chose to do it. And he let him know beforehand that he wasn't going to enter. And I think that was a reward. Because if he had entered, he would have had to put up with all the more rebellion. And as it was, Joshua got to carry that load.